This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Right, so a lot of you have asked me to do a video on Oleksandr Usyk, going on the latest news stories, and I thought that there's a bit more to it than what it is. I'm getting comments like, so why is it that Anthony Joshua is ducking Usyk? Where's the video? I'm looking through everything. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because the only thing I can come up with is Oleksandr Usyk. There's a new article out, and I'll put it in the description box, where his team are saying that they will enforce the WBO mandatory title shot. So what their reasoning is that they allowed Anthony Joshua to defend against a mandatory IBF first, as in Kubrat Pulev, but with the agreement that the winner of Joshua Pulev fight Oleksandr Usyk for the WBO. Of course, providing Usyk gets past Derek Chisora. Of course, we're still waiting to see what's happening with that fight. Now, when it comes down to it, I understand what it is that the team of Usyk is saying. At the end of the day, they are the mandatory. They did concede and allow Joshua to keep the WBO belt and defend it against the IBF, because this is the double-edged sword when it comes to being a unified champion. You've got so many mandatories and they stack on top of each other, all that kind of thing. Of course, Joshua losing to Andy Ruiz Jr. and then having a rematch has pushed mandatories together. So it's not ideal when you're a unified champion. It's so much easier when you just carry one belt, isn't it? But I understand what it is that Usyk is doing, and I mean, to be honest with you, with the way that it all is, it's not necessarily a case of Usyk is saying, you ain't fighting Tyson Fury. It's a case of, you fight me next, and then you go and fight Tyson Fury. Because Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, these guys have an agreement to fight in mid to late summer. So if Joshua takes on Pulev, say November time, that should be enough time to put in an Usyk. Very, very dangerous fight against Usyk, let's be honest. But at the same time, when people say it's a similar situation to Dillian White, he wants to enforce his mandatory against Tyson Fury for the WBC, but it's actually not the same, because Usyk, he's only just come up to heavyweight, and he's only had one fight at heavyweight so far. But these are the rules with the WBO. If you are WBO champion, especially if you're a unified champion as well, if you move up in weight, you become the automatic mandatory. Whether we agree with these rules or whether we don't. Because other examples will be Terence Crawford, when he was 140, undisputed champion, of course WBO champion as well. When he moved up to 147, he became Jeff Horn's mandatory. That's why Terence Crawford is the current WBO welterweight world champion after he defeated Jeff Horn. So we can't criticise Usyk for taking advantage of what the WBO rules are unless we criticise Terence Crawford doing the same thing. So for me, I don't have too much of a problem with it. I don't necessarily agree with it in some ways. In some ways I kind of do, and I understand their reasoning behind it. But it's not the same situation with Dillian White. Dillian White, he's been number one for a hell of a long time, and he's been the official mandatory for over a year now. But the point is that people will probably look at the Usyk situation or the Dillian White situation as if they're getting in the way of Joshua Fury for Undisputed. They're not. There's still plenty enough time for Fury to fight Wilder, then Dillian White, and if he's successful in those two, go fight Joshua in the summer. Same with Anthony Joshua. Get past Kubrat Pulev, and if he gets past Oleksandr Usyk, there's still plenty enough time for him to take on Tyson Fury for Undisputed. But of course, Oleksandr Usyk, he is coming out with the, well, you can not fight me if you want, but you're going to have to vacate that belt. So you're going to fight Joshua without the WBO belt on the line. So anyway, that is what it is. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.